Lesson 2. Write the letters. Catherine, over the years, I've heard many language teachers advise their students to write out words in the language they're learning. Any thoughts on that?
I actually do the same thing with my students because it's sort of like when we were talking about the reasons for listening to the pronunciation recordings over and over. It's engaging another sense. So when you're reading, you engage the visual sense. If you're reading aloud, you're engaging both visual and auditory. If you're listening, you're using auditory. But if you're writing, then that engages the sense of touch. And so particularly helpful is if the student is writing and saying the word at the same time. That will then engage not only touch, but also sight and sound. So you get kind of a threefer in that case. And so as many senses as we can engage all at once, the better. And the easier it will be for the student to remember whatever it is he or she is writing.
Well, it sounds like you've got the right idea.
I hope so.
You know, it reminds me of music a little bit. Sometimes the piano can be the best instrument to start on because it engages so many of the senses. You know, you touch the keyboard, you can see the keyboard, you can see how chords are formed, how they relate to each other, and you can hear them as well. So it engages several senses all at once. It can be very educational for students. And that's kind of how I see writing the letters, writing the words out. It kind of bakes it into your brain a little bit. I think it helps you see the letters in your mind. Once you start to write them out, you can sort of visualize them, I suppose.
Yeah, and the fact that you're making them instead of just taking them in also makes it easier to retain those letters because the writer is involved in producing the letters as well as receiving them.
So this is good advice for our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
As you go along and you are studying Greek, make sure to incorporate writing into your regimen of study. Even if your handwriting is sloppy, even if you aren't good at it, that's okay. Just do the best you can to copy the letters. You know, you don't have to be a professional scribe. Even if you just make an effort to copy those letters, you're going to benefit from that. It's going to help you as you attempt to copy out those letters.
Absolutely.